Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? I haven't been on here in a while. I thought I'd come on here and show my face, talk about some things. But um, I watch channels like She Ray 7 and She Ray 7. She's like the only woman that really talks about like the dating game for women and stuff like that. And me right now, like I'm not dating. I'm not dating anybody. Um and more so because I really don't care to date. Like in my life, I'm more focused on other things. Um and I'm mainly focused like on just like bettering myself and becoming the best version of myself and um eating healthier and um just doing things that's going to better myself. So I watch her channel a lot because more so because it's interesting and she talks about things that I can actually use in my life and benefit from. But I'm not dating, and right now I don't really care to date because I just have too many things going on. So the last thing that's on my mind is a man or trying to get a man. But you don't really hear like a lot of YouTubers talking, like a lot of female YouTubers that's really knowledgeable on the dating game and stuff like that. And when it comes down to dealing with men, and when it comes down to like dates and dealing with men that are providers and trying to get a man with money, um a lot of women, they want provider men, and a lot of women, they'll usually, with other races of women, not you know you know women of my skin color, but usually women of other races, they deal with men, and they deal with men that are able to provide for them, and that's mainly the only thing that they focus on, is whether or not a man can provide for them and take care of them, and that have resources and stuff like that. But because I was doing some research the other day, and I was just like reading like the comments and stuff like that, because I think I was reading an article, and some of the women, they were saying, they were talking about some of the best dates that they have been on, and I came across this one comment, and this lady, she had put in her comment that the best date she has ever been on didn't have anything to do with the date itself, but it had more so to do with the man that took her out on a date. And I had to think about it because um, I've been asked a lot of times to go on dates and stuff like that. And a lot of times I just turned them down because, to be honest, I felt like the right man, or I felt like the man that I wanted to ask me out on a date, didn't ask me out on a date. So usually, you have these women that are of other races, certain things excite them about being able to use a man for his money and being able to get resources out of them. But that was just something that has never really been for me. And I was never like the type that wanted to just like simply use a guy just because he had money and he could take care of me. I mean, I've I've had men that, bought me food or treated me to, certain things and gifts and stuff like that. But, I accepted them, but that's not something that I normally do, is link up with a man, to try to go on a date so I can get free food. And I'm not bashing any woman that do that, and I'm not mad at any woman that do that. But it's just not something that I do because, a nice date to me has more so to do with the man that's taking you out on a date. It's not really, it has really nothing to do with the fact that he took me to a fancy restaurant, or um, he just showed me a good time, and he took me to places that I never really been to. It didn't really have nothing to do with that. It more so has to do with the man that's taking you out on a date. And I know that a lot of women, just like the fact that, they have men willing to take them on dates and treat them to expensive things. But a nice date has only been worthy to me, or has only been worth going on, is if you're going on a date with a man that, you're really feeling, and who you find sexually attractive. And of course, he doesn't have to be like no super flashy guy or the richest dude on the planet or nothing like that, but it has to do with the man, and the man himself, and the way that he carries himself. And when you're on a date with the right type of guy, like, the date just automatically just seems more fun, and it seems more, it actually means something. And what I'm trying to say is that, I'm just not the type of person that, just wants to use men up for their money, because I'm more focused on, finding the right man, or being with somebody that makes me feel good, that just makes me comfortable, and, things like that. But what I'm really trying to say is that, nice dates don't really mean nothing. I'm not going to say all women, because I don't know how all women think, but just for me, like, a nice date has nothing to do with the date, but just the man himself, like, um, and how he treats you. And, it's really different, because you say to yourself, like, wow, this man is taking me out on a date, and I'm really feeling him. I'm attracted to him. I can see myself being with somebody like him. So, the date becomes better. But I just can't really get into the dating game, because I'm not just into using men for their money. And, when it comes down to, the whole using men for money, and stuff like that, I feel like, that can go terribly wrong. Like, if you decide to go on a date with a man that you don't know that well, and you just have in your mind, you just want to use him, for some food, or for some expensive shit, or just to try to get something out of him, that can go terribly wrong if you're dealing with the wrong man, because, he might be crazy. He might feel like, oh, just because I took her on a date, she's going to give me some ass. She's going to, come back to my hotel room, or we're going to go back to my place, and we're going to do stuff because I took her on this nice date. And, that's the last thing that I want a guy thinking, that, because he took me on a date, that's an even exchange for sex. And that's just not something that's just not how I get down. So, when it comes down to situations like that, I would just be completely honest. Like, you asked to take me out on a date, I just don't expect me, to have sex with you afterwards because you took me on a date. So it's just not something that I do. So I will only go on a date with a man that, I'm really feeling, and who I can see myself being with, and somebody who I would want to have sex with, you know. Because if that's the case, you know, I would just be a prostitute, and I'm not no prostitute. You know what I'm saying? It's just some things I just don't believe in doing, and you know, I know that a lot of women used to throw around the phrase, "No, you better use what you got to get what you want," and that's just never been me. Like, I can never see myself, you know, selling my body for money. And even in desperate times, you know, where, you know, say like, you know, I really need the money, you know, the thought did cross my mind, but you know, it's just not something that I can see myself doing, you know. So when it comes down to this whole dating thing and going on dates and receiving gifts, you know, excuse me, you know, money just isn't everything. You know what I'm saying? Money isn't everything, and money doesn't necessarily make me happy, you know. Um, but when you meet a man, you know, who makes you feel good, and you know, who you think is the right man, and he wants to take you out on a date, you know, that's something special, cause you say to yourself like, wow, like I'm really feeling this guy, and he wants to take me out on a date. He wants to, you know, show me that, you know, he's willing to get to know me. He wants to show me a good time. He wants to make me happy. You know, that's what's special to me, you know. So I just never been, you know, the gold digger type, you know what I'm saying? And I know that being a housewife or a stay-at-home person or mom or whatever is a dream for most women, but that's not really a dream unless I'm in a relationship with, you know, my soulmate. Because, you know, I, you're going to be miserable if you just get with the man just because he has money. And I'm not saying that. I know that women like nice things. I know that women like to be comfortable, but I'm not going to risk, um, it's just not something that I can do for myself. It's just not something that I can see myself doing. Like, I would rather go out and make my own money and be able to take care of myself than to be stuck in a miserable relationship that I don't want to be in just so I can have resources, just so I can have security or stability, you know. Because it would make me miserable, you know. Money isn't everything, you know. So yeah, I didn't want to make this a long video, and I know it might be kind of confusing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying. You know, some women might not understand, you know, what I'm saying and stuff like that. Oh, and when it comes down to, you know, beauty and looks and stuff like that, you know, I believe that looks are very subjective, and um what I might find attractive in a man, the next woman won't. You know, the next woman might think that he's ugly, but as long as he's right for me, as long as he looks good to me, that's all that matters. But that's really all I wanted to talk about. I will talk to you guys later.